Yo, welcome to Locker Code, where football is not just fantasy, but our reality, where you can express your excitement, your tensions, or even frustrations about the games, your team, your league, and performances of players. Let's go! Yo, welcome back. Y'all boys, what's good, man?
Hanging out, man. Hanging out. It's another week.
This dude,
Another
you
week.
almost choked there, bro. You ain't finished your drink yet.
Man, you caught me like in mid sipping, like damn, like
This guy. Yo, what's good, my dude, man?
Chilling.
How was the weekend, man? How y'all boys doing, man?
Weekend was good.
weekend was good, man. Did a little mini vacay.
Oh yeah, you went to that
Key
3 hour over the bridge ride.
Yeah,
bro.
that mini vacay, man. That mini vacay was dope, though.
Was it good or?
No, it was good. It was good. It was really good.
I heard you was out there dancing,
Man.
breaking your back and everything. Silk wild.
Nah.
Yo, what's good, man? How's your weekend, my dude?
Really good. Chill with my boys, my close friends up in Tampa.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Saturday night was
You
epic.
went out there to go do your recruiting for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I actually did some recruiting. For that. Stop it, bro. Stop it. That's not a good. Don't stop.
I was
Because
just-
you're giving me ammo to start
I
on
was
these
just
dudes right here.
asking, my dude. Yeah, I was just asking because I know you're a Bucks fan. I know you wanted to go out there and give your juju out
Funny
there.
enough,
So they
funny
can
enough,
win.
I think they're going to lose to the Packers as much as a Bucks fan
Oh,
that
yeah.
you think I am. So.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose to the Packers too, man. Like I told you from the beginning of the season, I'm like, yo, it's a Packers and Chiefs Super Bowl. I think that's what it's going to be. I think Chiefs are going to knock that out again, bro.
All right. I don't share the same sentiment, but okay.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was cool, man. I just kind of chilled with family, chilled with the wife, chilled with the kids.
You weren't allowed out the house this weekend.
I was allowed, but none of my friends were out. I mean, my friends were out of town.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, so I was,
If that's the excuse.
that's all I got, bro.
I know you can only go out once
To my
a month.
defense, I hit him up on Monday because Monday we had as a holiday.
What time you hit me
and,
up?
Like around 11.
10. So you hit me up at 10. I called you
Yeah.
30 minutes later. You ain't pick up.
Because I'm prepping, man. Like I was gonna call this dude and was like, yo,
No message, no
I'm
text, no
grilling,
nothing.
Come through the fam, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm doing a little cookout at the crib.
Yeah.
Dude didn't answer, so I put my phone down. You know me.
Call him
I'm
twice.
going in and out. I'm playing music with my phone, all that stuff. So the dude say he did call back. I'm not gonna say you.
All right, cool. I was just waiting for that one.
Yeah, you did call back, but I didn't even see it. And when I saw it, it was like mad late. So
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, damn, man, I really wanted to come through too, man.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
ain't gonna leave the house.
I was gonna leave, bro. I was like, yo, I was
You
gonna
have
be a
permission.
pescatarian that day,
You
bro.
ain't have permission.
This dude with the permission joint, yo. This guy here.
Yeah.
Yo, but the weekend was cool, man. Enjoyed myself. Monday was kind of really chilled, you know. Though I mean, the games, man. The games were just
Games were
interesting,
The
man.
games are interesting. Like not as much fantasy points as I thought. You know,
It wasn't a good fantasy weekend
right? But
For certain players here,
for a lot of
for a lot
Quality
of players.
for-
It wasn't a good fantasy weekend at all.
for those
right.
quality
I
players.
thought there were the games would be like higher scoring. That's my
Yeah.
thing. I thought the games would be like significantly higher scoring, but no, that's not what happened though.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, we want to get into news right now, man. Like,
Yeah, let's jump into the news, man.
jump into news, man, dude.
All right. So we're gonna jump into the news real quick. We're gonna talk about the players that will be, impacting this week performance. So like Ronald Jones is back in practice. He didn't play last week. Let me ask you guys. Let's start with.
He did play.
You played last
He
week.
played
But
last week.
Fournette had
Yeah.
the majority of the
Majority
carries,
of
right?
carries, yeah.
So if you're playing anybody on the Tampa, would you consider Ronald Jones or Fournette this week?
I would
As you
lean-
know, Green Bay defense is soft against the run. So which one will you run with?
I still run with Fournette
I would.
because he's a catching
That's
back.
hard.
Mainly because he's a catching back.
I think that's a safer option, but I think Jones has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
But I think a safer option. It depends how you build your fantasy lineup. So if you're looking for a guy with safety, I agree with that. Fournette. I think that Tampa is going to probably be playing from behind, and they're going to have to throw.
The throw. So
But
Fournette is a safer.
if you want to go against the grain, and this wins fantasy a lot, I would go with the Ronald Jones because of the defense.
And Ronald Jones has that explosion at times, right? You're going to see that 40 to 50-yard dash that comes out of nowhere.
He
that
has
he's gonna
it,
get.
but the problem is that it's a Brady offense.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
that's the problem. So I think they go as far as Brady goes. They're not going to scheme by running the ball. They're going to scheme
by
by
what Brady,
Brady,
whatever Brady want to do.
Exactly. It's
All
not
right.
Belichick.
All right. Antonio Brown didn't practice
Belichick.
today. Any of you guys eyeing him for your DFS this week?
I got to see by Friday, man. But he is a good look. I think Green Bay's corner, Alexander, is a badass corner. He's going to lock down Evans. Godwin, as we're going to speak more in detail in DFS in the fourth quarter, we're going to talk about how Godwin is not playing that well in the last couple games, right? Or last game. So we're going to look at that. But I'm looking at AB, but I got to see you on Friday.
I'm not looking at AB. I had him last week. Brady's throwing to who he's confident in.
Well, AB got injured. He got injured.
He
last
got
week.
injured, but Gronk was getting those looks. Mike
right.
Evans was getting those looks.
And some Godwin.
And some Godwin. In these games, must-win games, you're going to go to your instinct.
Yeah.
And I think that Gronk and Mike Evans and those guys are going to be the producers.
Yeah, the people that's been there since the get-go.
Since the get-go.
I just like I said, I don't think Evans is going to do well against Alexander. So that's why I think it's going to be Godwin or AB at that point.
All right. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Clyde Edwards-Helaire returned to practice and practiced in full today. Last week, he didn't play. What's your confidence level on Clyde playing this week, and you actually playing Clyde against Buffalo?
If
Same
I'm
way I
Dre,
felt 9 months ago.
if I'm Dre, I'm at 110% playing him. If I'm me, then no, I'm not playing him.
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
He is irrelevant to me.
Yeah, I'm good on them.
All right.
That whole running back committee thing is horrible now this year.
So
But it's what I've always said. Like, Pat Mahomes, I could be running the football. See how skinny I am. I could be running the football, and they would still win. They don't need
a running back.
yeah, man. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know why they
And
signed
then
Bell, to be
Pat
honest with
Mahomes, he practiced. He took some rep today.
Pat's back, man.
So
It's a
he's going to
concussion
play.
protocol.
They're actually saying it's not necessarily a concussion, but it was like a sprain in his neck per se. So
He's good.
yeah. So all right. So
But that boy Henny, he came back for him.
yeah,
That that trick play, man. That
Dolphin
was
draft. Let's not.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that 4-for-1 play. That was pretty dope.
I didn't
we
either.
find a way to talk about the Dolphins on all these shows. Huh?
I mean, listen,
God.
it took a Dolphin to win, bro.
Dolphins suck, man.
All right, so some unrelated news that came out. John Harbaugh says, Lamar Jackson is his quarterback. A lot of people were questioning that. Should they move on from Lamar Jackson? It's just crazy,
dumb
man.
as hell to move on.
It
from
is
Lamar
just crazy
Jackson.
what
But that's
this
how it is,
urgency. This whole urgency. People can't have a bad season. Like
Nope.
No. Hold on.
Did he have a bad season?
Listen,
I mean,
you know I'm a Lamar Jackson fan, but let me say something. It's like it's your progression. So you came out, we know that you're good, right?
yeah,
Is this it for you?
of course not.
Like, it's like a rapper that drops a really good album.
So,
are you a one-hit wonder type thing? So we know, and we know that you could run the football, but we haven't seen a progression in
Passing.
of passing, and that's the problem. Like, he digressed in passing. If from the looks of it, he was super efficient last year.
right, but you have to understand. So we all know what he needed to work on, right?
Yeah.
We all said he needed to work on the passing. COVID hit. The dude didn't get the opportunity for training camp to work on the passing. He was trying to remember.
Didn't have
he
the right
was
quarterback
he was
coach.
trying to Hollywood Brown, Antonio Brown. They were trying to practice together and all that stuff. And
But that wasn't passing itself either.
right, you know what I mean?
He wasn't
It's a-
learning how to pass.
right.
That's
it was
the
a
difference.
it was a bigger weekend this weekend for Lamar Jackson than it was for Josh Allen.
Yes.
And he did not.
He did not
produce.
show up.
He did not show up.
didn't.
So it looks bad because Josh Allen is having his breakout year. So if Josh Allen, if Bills lost and Josh Allen played a bad game, everybody would overlook it because he's had such a stellar. It was his
That
breakout
unexpected.
season. It's his breakout year.
Exactly.
So you did good. You did your thing. You went further than everybody expected.
Yeah, he's up way above everybody.
Where
expectation.
everybody else.
Yeah.
But dude, you're coming off of being the MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson. So we want to see that progression.
Yeah, and we didn't see it this year.
Yeah.
Me personally, man, until they get wide receivers and Lamar Jackson gets a quarterback coach,
Yeah.
you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see Lamar Jackson get into the playoffs week 1 and week 2, maybe get into it, but they're not going to go any further than that. He needs to work with a quarterback coach to know how to throw the ball, and they need to give him receivers to know how to catch.
I would agree, but I watched a lot of, because he was my fantasy quarterback. I watched a lot of his games, and a lot of those balls that were thrown, most of them were his fault. Either they were underthrown, they were floated too
Timing,
much,
yep. Yeah,
the timing was off.
Yeah,
like
I've seen that.
The analysts broke it down.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily a receiver because Mark Andrews is a good tight end.
Yeah, but wasn't Mark leading this season in catches and in receiving yards?
No, not touchdowns and all that stuff.
Yeah,
he wasn't that efficient. Like
Exactly.
He didn't perform where
To
where he
me,
was
to
drafted.
me, he doesn't. I don't think he has a horrible receiving core. I don't think so. But I think that from watching his games, he needs to work on his passing, when to throw a bullet, when to the timing, like Ren said, and he needs a
flow of the
quarterback
game.
coach.
He's a quarterback guru.
Yeah,
Not Gase, guys. Not Gase.
yeah.
All right, Philip Rivers retired.
No one really cares.
No one cares.
I mean,
I
the
thought he
dude-
retired in the first half of the season.
The dude actually had a great career, man. Like, he was a really good quarterback. Even though his ball coming out of his hand is not the best spiral, but the dude,
He had a great
The dude had some great seasons.
He had a great season, man. The only thing I can say is that Eli Manning won in that trade, in that New York Giants trade, because Eli Manning came out with multiple picks. No, excuse me. They gave away multiple picks to San Diego for Phillip Rivers, and gave away Phillip Rivers for Eli Manning. But Eli Manning came out with the 2 championship rings. Eli Manning came out with being in the championship or in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers didn't. So when you look at it, yes, he had a great career. San Diego had a great quarterback, but I can't even remember how many times San Diego actually got into the playoffs in comparison to Eli.
That's what I was gonna say. He's like a great C+ student. Slightly better than average, but not good enough to win you something.
Like
but not
Ben,
good
but
enough.
like under Ben. Ben's little brother.
Like a poor man's Ben. No, that's the best way. You hit it on the nail. Like a poor man's Ben.
All right. AJ Brown, man. AJ Brown had surgery on both knees. Just to tell you that this dude was toughing it out throughout the season, and was going to tough it out throughout the playoffs once his team was viable. So, what do you think about his prospect next year? What round would you draft AJ Brown in, and so forth?
I think he's a third rounder, late third rounder, fourth round, early fourth.
I like him in a third and fourth, especially when you're looking at the 2 knee surgeries, because you don't really know what you're going to expect from him.
I mean, the dude
It was a cleanup, but
Yeah, but
Normally, dudes come back. They're
it
at
was a
these in 2020, 2021. Dudes are coming back from knee surgeries
Better.
better than before.
And then think about it this way. Think about it. Let's play devil's advocate here for a second. He was playing hurt all season, and the dude still had over 1,000 yards. You see what I'm saying? The dude was still one of the top 20 wide receiver. So imagine him now having 2 good knees in that offense.
But you're gonna always look at it because I think it was a 3rd round pick last year,
Yeah, it was a 3rd
right?
round pick.
So it's either gonna be 3rd or 4th, but you're always gonna look at your boy Henry. It's a run offense.
It's a run first offense.
Run first offense. So you're going to always look at that. So I do feel like, either he's going to stay in the same round or third, or he's going to slip down on fourth because of the knee injury. But like you said, these guys, when you get cleaned up like that, they're ready to play. And he exploded while he was, playing on the two bad knees. So I expect him to explode. But I mean, hey, listen, if you can get him in the fourth round,
I'll gamble on him.
If you get him in the fourth round, that's a great pick.
I'll gamble on him as a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Mark Ingram got waived. Where do you think he ends up?
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, he got waived yesterday, day before yesterday. He got waived.
Yeah.
We all
Saves
know
on
who
waivers.
you're keeping now.
Oh yeah, J.K. Dobbins being kept, boy.
Yeah. He actually do good in this hat right here. So.
Yeah, yo. I was thinking about that too. I mean, because Dolphins they're looking for a power back, and they have not got that power back that they've been looking for. With Balaj. What was the other one? That used to be in Philly. Can't remember
Howard.
his name. Howard. Yeah.
Nah.
Jordan Howard.
Yeah. So they're looking for that power back player, but at the same time, you're looking at, he's going to be available. Fournette's going to be available. There's a couple power backs out there that's going to be available.
I'll go with the younger dude with the least amount of wear and tear.
I'll go for that.
Yeah, so that's what I'll probably do.
I would too. I like Fournette, younger, but the problem is going to be money, right? So who's going to be more?
He hasn't showed that much for me to pay him no crazy money. He's still a backup. You know what I mean? Yeah. So his agent.
He's a backup, but
his agent's gonna have to go ahead and
I wouldn't say he's a backup, but
he has to have a prove it year.
If he gets put on the Dolphins, bro, he's a clear starter.
So all right, if you're the Dolphins, because Gus Edwards is also also a free agent. No, wait, I'm not. Let me finish.
My bad.
Jesus Christ.
My bad.
Anyways, Gus Edwards is a free agent as well. I think they're probably gonna ink him back in Baltimore. But anyways, if you're the Miami Dolphins, would you go after Gus Edwards or would you go after Mark Ingram?
Mark Ingram, just money wise.
I'm going after
Gus Edwards. I'm going after
the younger dude, the fresher dude, man.
Especially at
but
that
how
position.
How old is Gus? Gus is not that young.
He's in his 20s.
Yeah, he's still in his 20s.
Yeah.
How long has he been in the league? I thought he was balleting through the league for a long time, or whatever that thing he does.
No, but I think
he's
saying.
still 26 or something.
Really?
I'm going with the fresher legs.
I agree, man. Let's go into the first quarter, bro.
We got first quarter here, yo. What do you got, yo? We got wild card weekend recap.
Yep.
Right? And then we're going to talk more in detail. Second quarter, we're going to go into conference championship and talk about that, man. But let's go with that. Packers win 32-18 against the Rams. Bills win 17-3 against the Ravens. Chiefs 22-17 against the Ravens with your boy Henny from the Dolphins winning that game for the Chiefs. And then the Bucks win 30-20 against the Saints. And obviously Michael Thomas being, locked down. Winston throwing deep ball. But, man, what game? I mean, we can go first with the Packers and the Rams. What did you guys think about that game, man? What did you guys see?
The shocking game to me personally was how bad Baltimore was. That game, I was watching that game and I was disgusted.
But why is it shocking though? They've had games like that.
Yeah,
they have. But the motivation, the high you're coming off from beating Tennessee, the Tennessee that beat you twice in the season. I thought you guys would come out ready to play. You're going the two young quarterback coming against each other, and Jackson and Allen. I was like, oh, this looked like a high scoring, high impact game, and man, it was terrible. Yeah. it was terrible. So that one was shocking. The Browns had an opportunity to come back and they just didn't. I mean, when Pat Mahomes came out and the defense just didn't show up, there's no way Chad Henne should have gotten that game.
I'm watching that game. How much times does Nick Chubb have to drop the ball before you realize, okay, let me put Kareem Hunt in? Dude dropped the ball.
He's not a catcher, bro.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Kareem is that guy.
Back.
But they only use Kareem between third and fourth quarter.
But then he does the right thing, Nick Chubb, and then you put Kareem in. So I don't get it in the game that
Good-
prior
right,
weekend.
right. Yeah.
So are you rewarding bad behavior and not rewarding
Yeah.
good behavior? What you're doing the opposite.
They
I don't
only
get
see
it.
him in the third and fourth quarter, bro. They only play Hunt third and fourth quarter like that. They give him multiple catches in the third and fourth quarter.
I didn't. Surprising for me, I didn't expect the Packers to look that good against the Rams.
Against the Rams.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to look that good. They look really good. They look.
I mean, the defense played well.
Yeah, but it's that offense made the Packers When you look at the teams that were left last week, I would say the Rams probably had the best defense out of all 8
Yep.
teams.
Even
And-
the Bills had the best defense.
No,
You mean
no.
over the
I mean,
weekend or
no,
just
no,
in
no,
general?
No, in
Going
general.
into
Oh,
this
yeah.
week,
The
going
Rams,
into
yeah.
the last weekend,
Yeah,
the
the
Rams.
Rams.
had the best defense, and Packers sliced them up.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is on the. Like-
Not even just Aaron Rodgers, but Devontae was getting what he wanted.
But I
Aaron,
told you.
I
Aaron
think that's
Jones.
that's where
Remember
it
what I was
messed up
saying.
the defense.
Aaron
Right.
Jones ran for a couple big
But
plays.
yeah, but I think that's where the Rams defense got hurt. I mean, Aaron Donald was hurt, right?
Right.
But Ramsey wasn't able to lock down that top receiver, so
Ramsey's not
Rodgers
moving.
can look at all.
He's not moving.
He's not
He's not
moving.
moving.
And
And that's what
the
I said
thing.
last week.
He could not move.
Yeah.
Adams is gonna move all over,
And he did.
all over the field, and that's where he's gonna eat.
The
'Cause
best
Ramsey-
play was the 2-yard line.
the 2 yard line.
That was the best play.
Ramsey was like, see, like you saw
But that
he
wasn't
really
that
off.
wasn't Ramsey's fault though.
No,
that
I know,
should
but
have
he
been
was
a switch.
It should have been a switch.
Yeah.
and that's the thing.
It wasn't, but I think at the end of the day, you need to shadow the top guy. If your top number 1, number 2
Yeah,
cornerback
but in a
can't shadow the
situation
number
like
1
that,
receiver,
that play was designed perfectly. The only way to stop it, you had to switch.
yeah,
There's no way because he chased
No way.
him.
Chased him,
Yeah.
and he couldn't
Exactly.
get him.
He couldn't get to him,
couldn't
so
get
you
to him.
had to switch.
He
That's
had to
why he was
switch.
frustrated after.
and then
Yep.
the DB didn't switch up, and it was
Yeah,
an easy
man, that's
touchdown.
what I'm saying,
But it
like-
happened through the whole game.
But
Through the whole game, it happened
that's
that way.
and that's how Metcalf the previous week had success against Ramsey because Ramsey only played like Ramsey's not going to travel that much.
No.
You know what I mean? And that's how you can beat Ramsey, and they need to address that
They
or
were
get
killing
another
Ramsey.
get
Or
another
top corner.
Yeah, get another top corner. But let me ask you about some fantasy implication on the teams that got eliminated.
Before you was doing that too, because you were talking about Ravens. I was actually surprised about Tyler Huntley, right? Because when he came in, the quarterback from Utah came in to play, because they had this guy like as a surprise, like, yo, don't ask questions about this guy. This guy's gonna be great. Don't worry about it. He's supposed to be backing up Jackson. So when he came in, it was just kind of like, all right, I want to see what this guy. And he looked
Fairly decent.
yeah, fairly decent. It looked just like Lamar Jackson. Obviously, I mean, these guys are from down here, by the way, too, because Huntley is from Miami. Obviously, Jackson's from Pompano Beach. So, I mean, he looked good. I was actually rooting for him to come back and just win that game, just to kind of have that on his belt.
Man, the Bills
He didn't look better.
The Bills handled them.
Yeah,
the
they
Bills
handled
defense
Bills.
handled
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, they
handled them. Let me ask you a question, man, about a couple of players in rounds. Right, this is quick hitters. PJ Akers.
That's a good
Where
question.
where would you draft Akers next year? What round?
I'm high on Akers. I would go. I don't know where the chips will fall necessarily, but definitely early third, possibly even higher.
I'm late second.
I was going to say late second.
Yeah, late
That's
second,
why I
early
said I
third.
don't know where the chips will fall, but
Because what I noticed
great
about
pick in the third quarter.
that offense, it's like a San Francisco offense. Running back succeed in that offense.
Offense,
yep.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I was looking.
and the good thing is he came on late in the season and he's been playing well
Yeah.
yep.
last 4 or
The
5
last
games.
4, yeah, exactly. You think Jared Goff was Rams next year?
Yeah, he's gonna be with the Rams.
Yeah, I think so.
No matter what
Oh,
little
he had-
divorce they got going on,
But the
it's
coach
with the
came out and just said like,
Rams. We're not on the same page.
well, he said he doesn't.
Oh,
know.
the way he said that.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
Goff is my quarterback next year. He
Yeah.
straight up said that.
He
Like,
straight up said that. Yeah. I was surprised he said that
so
too. I, was just
I don't
like,
think he is. And if he is not, and they get a better quarterback,
who.
I don't know if there's a better quarterback though. That's the problem.
Yeah, who?
I don't know. Maybe they draft one. Because obviously, prior to that coach going there, Goff was nothing. Everybody thought Goff couldn't even play in the NFL, and he's the reason why Goff.
The coach is the reason why.
Right,
Like
yeah,
those
right.
schemes and those
The
short
schemes,
passes.
exactly,
Yeah.
short passes, and Goff looked like so he can draft somebody that he likes, that has the tool that he wants, and he can make them into that kind of, you know what I mean?
That's the problem with the Rams. They're not explosive enough.
Right.
And maybe
And
Goff is
the problem.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You need someone that can
Throw the deep ball.
throw the deep ball, and he can't. I think he probably McVay want to open up that book, and he cannot
Not
open
open
it.
it,
Right.
yeah.
And
because he's playing to what his abilities, to Goff's abilities.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the only guys that are right now available, Prescott, Fitzpatrick, Winston, Cam Newton, Dalton is a free agent also. Then you're looking at best available in the draft: Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. Those guys are going to be gone.
Gone. Yeah.
Trey Lance is going to be gone. Mac Jones is going to be gone from Alabama. Jamie Newman and Kyle Trask. But I guess there's players out there that you can probably go after. I mean,
But you never know, though.
they'll
You never
probably go
know. They
after
can do a
maybe
trade.
Stafford.
Yeah.
Stafford will look good. Maybe
Even Matt Ryan, possibly. You never know. So,
Carson
Stafford will look
Wentz.
good in that.
I mean,
in that
offense,
offense,
yeah.
yeah,
they may
Stafford
mess
would
up
look-
and go get
Matt Ryan
Garoppolo.
would look good in
Matt
that
Ryan
offense.
would look good in
and
that
and Matt Ryan already had a relationship with.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. It's San Fran.
Yeah,
Oh, you can
yeah.
imagine if Matt Ryan go to San Fran.
Yeah.
Whew, with
Yo,
that running game.
Ultimately, when we're doing that, because we're saying that
good,
these quarterbacks are going to these teams, where would Jimmy go?
Oh, who cares?
I mean, you don't think he'll be?
Jimmy
You
will be
think
on
he'll
the
be
show
a
with
bench?
us.
Oh, he'll be
I
over
know.
here. All right, cool.
All right. So one last thing I want to ask you about the recap before we jumped into the second quarter here. So the Browns made it to the playoff. Matter of fact, the Browns made it to the second round of the playoffs,
Baker Mayfield implication.
and OBJ wasn't on the team.
Remember we brought that up last time.
So what do you think? OBJ
you
get
trade OBJ.
traded, or OBJ remains on the Browns and see if he can add that.
You trade OBJ.
You trade OBJ.
You trade OBJ. I like we were saying that in the beginning.
Nobody
of the
wants
season.
his contract though.
It's unfortunate. You're just gonna have to trade OBJ with the contract and some in a draft.
Football has a lot to do with fit. And, I mean, they have their scheme. Their scheme is to run the football.
Where would you? All right. So where do you think OBJ would fit though? Give me a team.
Texans.
Dolphins.
Oh, thank you, boy. Appreciate that.
If man, if we can you imagine we
Texans.
get
Texans.
San Fran. Well, if San Fran gets a quarterback like a Matt Ryan or something.
I mean, the
San
Dolphins
Fran.
is a good pick because we're looking at Parker not really being that number one wide
right,
receiver.
but
So he's not begging for
so
the ball.
we're gonna need that quarterback, right? So what? That's when you go for Watson.
That's when you go for Watson.
What's the name? Green Bay.
Green
Bay.
Bay.
would
Well,
be yes,
Because you letting go of
You gotta-
Aaron Jones.
and then you have to understand. You see these guys with the big ego. Once they have a
Yeah.
quarterback that's established,
No
and
tight-
a quarterback
yeah.
that's bigger than you are, they humble them. Look at Randy Moss when he went to New England, right?
humbled himself.
Humbled
Yeah.
himself. Look at when
Well, I mean, the Raiders was a shit show too when he was over there in the Raiders, so he had to get traded. Raiders when Randy Moss was with the Raiders.
yeah,
it
but
was
what
a
I'm
shit
saying is like they're not as vocal when they go on teams with great leadership.
Great leadership, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They actually play their role.
Look at Antonio Brown.
show. Yeah, but then you're looking.
Antonio Brown is the same thing.
But, I mean, he has no choice if they trade him or not. But look at it this way: I'm looking at if I'm OBJ, I'm looking at playing with Rodgers. Rodgers probably has one more year, right?
Right.
And I'm still on a 4-year contract. I mean, he has no choice but to go. But
I think-
will they
I
pay
think-
for him?
No, I think OBJ only have 2 years left. On
2
his
years left?
contract. Yeah.
Maybe
So
but it does look good. But I think the reason why I like OBJ in Green Bay is because they don't have a tight end. They're not going to have Aaron Jones. So the focal point is going to be on Adams and him, right? The problem with the Browns with OBJ is that the focal point is OBJ, Landry, tight end Hooper,
Another team,
Njoku.
Another team
two
that would be
running
good.
backs.
I'm not sure of their money situation, but the Bills. I think he'll be good on the Bills too, because I think the Bills are going to come up short this weekend, and maybe the lack of firepower is the
So
reason
you
why.
put in two receivers that beg for the ball all the time, that want the ball in their hands.
who's that?
He wants to bring
If he
OBJ
goes
to the Bills.
If he goes to Green Bay, it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah, but
It's different.
so here's the difference between Allen. Allen
Yeah.
is not capable enough to handle
To
that
continue
personality.
throwing
the ball.
That personality.
Well, it's just the personality, not the ball.
Not even the ball. It's the personality of OBJ. Where
Rodgers can.
when he goes to the locker room, I want the ball, and start pouting and whatever, Allen will probably like, all right, I'm gonna give him the ball. Versus Aaron Rodgers.
So what? Okay, what
Aaron
about?
Rodgers, he goes to Aaron Rodgers. You better sit your ass down before,
Yeah.
and you don't get.
I'm not gonna
about-
throw the ball to you.
What about?
You see what happened to other receivers? Like you don't catch that ball. Rodgers is no longer throwing that ball. To you.
Not sure their money situations, but what about Pittsburgh?
Nah, he won't fit there. Because Tomlin is more of a
He can
no tolerance type
so-
of situation.
right. So
Yeah, but
Tomlin,
it's
Tomlin can control him. I
Can
agree
control
with you.
them, but and their
it's the
wide
antics.
receiver.
It's the antics.
Look
It's
what
it.
Juju and Antonio.
That's
Brown
what
did.
I'm saying. I can't put OBJ and Juju with the same antics.
Well,
on the same
Juju won't
team.
be there.
Nah, they're re-signing Juju. They're not gonna let Juju go. They're not
I
gonna let their
disagree
number
with
one
that.
receiver go. I don't think.
He's their
well,
number
not
one
the number
receiver?
one receiver. One of their young receivers. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna let him go. But if they did, it would look good. But I think that they're probably more going to let with the younger crowd than trying to get an older guy that can do those things. Man, you got Claypool out there, you got Johnson out there. I'll go get another rookie to build on there. Ben is going to be there. They literally don't have Ben is probably going to be there for another year, and they don't have a
It's not
quarterback.
Much. It's not much left for Ben, so give him a proven wide receiver.
And he doesn't even have a quarterback. I mean, behind him right now. So I don't know. There's nobody there.
Yep. All right, cool, man. You want to go in the second quarter?
Yeah, right. Packers and Bucks. Actually, let you go ahead and rock on your team, man. What do you think is going to happen with the
Too
Bucks?
bad your team ain't in there.
Nah, my team ain't there. It's next year. Don't worry
Next
about it.
year.
But my quarterback was there to help the
Start
Chiefs
of
get
next
to the
year,
next
you'll be
level.
looking forward to
What,
next year. We build up all the hype to draft this guy. Now everybody wants to trade him out of Miami.
Listen,
I don't understand. That's
Who?
not fair to
First
the
of
guy.
all, I told you I never wanted Tua.
Now you don't want to.
This guy. Ren was the one that wanted Tua. I never wanted Tua. Remember, I even said,
It is
go get
wrong
Hurts.
what you guys are doing to Tua.
I said,
man.
go
It's
get Hurts.
really wrong what y'all doing to Tua.
Who is
It's-
doing anything?
Who
to
is
Tua?
wrong? Bro, you got
All of
Watson
Miami.
available? You got
wait,
Watson
wait, wait,
available.
wait,
Listen,
wait.
You draft this guy. What was he? Number 3 pick?
P.
Number 3 pick?
Watson comes up to you on your team and
Was
says
he
he wants to
not the
come.
number 3 pick?
5.
5.
Number 5 pick.
Watson
No
comes up
difference.
to you and said, yo, I want to play for the Dolphins. You yourself say, Dolphins has
Dude,
a great
y'all
defense.
wanted this guy out of here there before Watson even said
I didn't
that.
even want him to
That's
be
the
here.
truth of the matter.
No,
bro.
I didn't want him to
That's
be
the
here.
truth of the
Yo,
matter.
listen.
I didn't know.
Tua
I didn't
is
want him.
fine. The fan
He's fine.
base, the fan base with Tua is fine. Let's not over exaggerate. If the opportunity is there to get somebody that's proven and that still has a lot of games under their
A
belt,
lot of games under their belt.
I'll
A
take it.
future. I'm taking Watson, bro. Sorry,
right
Tua.
now on an individual basis, other than Mahomes, which quarterback is better than Watson in the NFL right now?
Today, because we looked at Jackson, because Jackson was the MVP last year. But other than
Right now,
and
as we
Dak
speak?
Prescott,
Right now,
Dak
as we
Prescott,
Dak Prescott.
Aaron Rodgers.
yeah,
is better
I'm talking
than-
about young, not
No,
older
I'm
guy.
talking about
young guy
that you can build around. For
that you can
future.
build around. Dak Prescott's
Dak
there.
Prescott,
yes,
um,
Pat Dak and that's
Russell
for there.
Wilson.
But he's over that. He's not young.
I don't know, man. I
He's
feel
not
like,
young.
granted, Russell Wilson has one more, but he had a good team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Had a good line. I think Watson outperformed him
Watson
statistically.
is good.
Statistically,
like,
Watson
think about that, like-
outperformed him every year.
You know you got a defense. You got a mediocre running back game, right? We want
Right.
to say that. You have okay quality receivers, right? But you know that you'll be able to get another receiver in free agency. You know you'll probably get better line in free agency. You got multiple drafts that you can
Right.
trade, that you can probably pick up a top receiver in the draft anyways, if depending on what your negotiations with Texans are. Are you truly saying that you would keep Tua over Watson?
No, but it's not fair what you guys are doing to him. That's what I'm trying
That's
to
the
say.
business of football, man.
Business of-
So I'm
to
not
answer
doing
your
anything.
question,
Yo.
to answer your question, I think
Greer
Packers are
calls
going
me. Greer
Huh?
calls me. I'm saying Watson. And
to
then
really
hang up.
want Watson there, huh?
Man, how are we on Watson?
To
when
ro-
we're supposed to
But,
recapping last
because
week's
they
game?
want to revive this trash
Like
organization.
Why are we talking about Watson?
This
Tell me,
trash
like, I don't understand.
organization
Like,
right here.
listen,
That's what it is.
why is Watson?
He's
and
trying to
Tua-
manifest and speak
why
it
is-
into existence.
That's all I'm doing.
I know.
I got 3 months.
I know.
Why is Watson and Tua
I got into
conversation?
when's the
Wait,
draft?
wait,
Draft's
wait.
in April.
We have to talk about the Bucks and the
All
Packers.
right, let's go ahead and talk
Let's
about
go
Bucks.
that.
So I think the Packers are going to win this one. It's really good to see Brady and Aaron Rodgers face off, and what's going to in their final years of their career, they both look good. But I the way the Packers are running like a well-oiled machine, I don't think the Bucks have too much hiccups. They're not going to be able to deal with them. And what Packers are good at, which is that the connection between Rodgers and Devontae Adams, it's what the Bucks are not good at. So don't look at Aaron Jones have a big game. He doesn't need to. They're still going to be able to get the job done, and it's going to be a classic Devontae and Aaron Rodgers show.
What do you think?
All right, I share some sentiments that PJ brought up, but
You going
at the
Bucks?
same, I'm going Bucks. I'm going
You're
Bucks.
saying Bucks are going to beat the Packers.
I think the Bucks are going to beat the Packers,
Can we
just
bet
like
on
just how they did within the year.
I hear a bet.
Yeah, how much you want to put on it? All right, go 20 on it. That's what we've been betting, right?
Yeah,
We'll go
20 it
20 on
is.
it.
All right,
20
so
it is.
20 on
So
it.
it is 20 is just on who's gonna win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all
So
I
I,
got the
I,
Packers.
I'm going to Bucks, right?
You know they're playing in Lambeau, right?
It doesn't matter where they play.
Oh, all right.
Not with
Bucks.
that. Not with that cold weather.
It doesn't matter where they play.
You know that Aaron Rodgers was dancing today in practice, right?
Yeah, not in that
Hey.
cold weather, bro.
Listen, I'm
These
not worried
boys
about
from
it.
down here, we wearing t-shirts.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that.
This
All right,
little
so
64,
was gonna
this
be
little
below
64
zero.
ain't got nothing about negative 14 in Packers, bro.
hey, I'm not the one playing in there. Like these, I'm not the one playing in there. But on a serious note, though, with the running game, that see the difference between the Rams and Tampa Bay is that they're well rounded on offense. Like they have a running game, they have a passing game. Compared to when you were looking at the Rams really didn't have much of a passing game because Goff was injured and he was just running around the pocket. Tampa Bay has a really good rush defense, and they're gonna need Aaron Jones.
I don't know where golf is running. That boy's getting sacked.
Yeah, man. So, and look, man, recency bias. Tampa Bay put a thrashing on Green Bay earlier in the year. So, I'm not expecting like a wide margin. It's gonna be, probably like lost by 3 to 6, somewhere around there. So,
You think it's gonna be a low scoring game?
it's not a low scoring game, but an average game. So I don't think that the total score will be over like 55. I think it's probably less than that.
21-14, something
Yeah,
like that?
something like that. Somewhere around there.
I say 24-21.
It's a close game with you. I'm going Packers on that game. Right. I think the defense played well. They got to come up with some different plays like they did for the Rams. They got to come up with some trick plays against the Bucks defense because I think the Bucks defense is good. The corners are not that good. They don't have a Ramsey, and they destroyed Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's all Packers. I think Packers is gonna have a good game. Who do you think is gonna be fantasy relevant?
Fantasy relevant in that game.
Devontae
Look.
Adams.
Yeah, easy.
The running backs in Tampa Bay should have a decent game. If probably most likely Fournette. The reason being because he's the pass catching back, and don't get me wrong, it's gonna be. I think the Packers are gonna go up first, and then it's gonna be a chase by Tampa, and Tampa, get them in the fourth quarter when the defense actually, put the pass rush on Aaron Rodgers, and I think that's where the game will be lost by Tampa Bay. So.
Game will be lost by Green Bay, you mean?
Green Bay, sorry.
Green Bay.
Green Bay, yeah.
Who do you think is fantasy relevant on there?
Definitely the wide receivers from the Packers. So Devontae Adams. I would definitely take a punt play with MVS. What was it? Marquise Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
Even
Lazard. I think
as
Lazard
well.
is getting better targets and
Yeah.
more targets than
Either
MVS.
one of them I could see having.
It's been increasing.
Yeah,
the last
because
couple of games.
at some point you got to come out and be like, listen, they're going to throw this ball to Devontae Adams, and we have to figure out a way to double team him. So,
If they do
Lazard-
that, I personally, sorry to cut you off, but I personally think Tanyan's probably going to be the one to benefit from that, especially in the red zone.
But I think Tampa plays well against tight ends. I think they play well against tight ends. I think the biggest surprise would be, like you said, either Lazard or MVS. 'Cause I think they're going to find a way to try to stop Adams. I think Adams is still going to get his looks no matter what.
Those boys keep dropping balls, man. I can't trust them. That's my
You talking about Adams or
no, you're
Lazard?
talking about MVS.
They
and
do.
Lazard.
They do.
Yeah.
But if you leave him alone, I'm going to have to throw it to him.
Yeah.
right.
If it's going to be a deep route,
Them
I'm going to
boys-
have to throw it to
Them
him.
boys
As
just
much
know how to
as-
drop a ball.
Yeah, they don't know how to catch.
I'm thinking about it a lot now. Leonard Fournette let me down way too much this
Oh, you
season.
about to get on that run joint?
Nah, he did, man. Like, there's a lot of games that either Rojo was out or
Yeah.
Ronald Jones was out, and we thought that Fournette was just going to have a monster game, and it didn't happen. I'm probably going to stay away from both those guys
Really?
because I'm not. I'm too.
I like Fournette on it.
I'm too unsure about them. The only thing I'm sure about is with the Bucks is Mike Evans. He's
Godwin.
going to get his. Gronk is going to get his,
And
and
Godwin.
Godwin is going to get his.
Well, the problem is Godwin is going to get his
Tampa's going
targets.
to win the game
Godwin's not
based
catching the
on
ball.
Tampa's going to win the game based on their defense and Tom Brady.
And Tom Brady.
That's it.
Easy. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going Packers. I think the defense is. I want to ask you a question. We're going to go to the Bills and the Chiefs, but do you think who out of those 4 teams, who are you going to have? Who do you believe is going to have that defensive fantasy game like last week with Bills?
None.
None.
I
Yeah,
think this is
I
a
think-
fantasy friendly week.
Yeah, I think it's a fantasy friendly week. I think defenses doesn't matter this week. If I should
They're
rank,
all 4 high powered offenses.
right, if I should rank defenses, man,
It's Bucks and then the other
Then
3 are
everybody
mediocre.
is. Yeah. I like Bucks, and then there's a tie with Bills and Chiefs.
And Bucks defense is like they're number 1 against the rush, but they're pretty horrible against the pass. So
yeah, I agree with you, man.
Yeah. That's why I say Bucks, Bills, then Chiefs, and then Packers. Because both the Packers and Chiefs are secondary. Their secondary is great. Their defensive line is not good.
secondaries are decent. They're not great.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Let me say that. Decent. But the thing about the Chiefs, like I always say, man, the
all
Chiefs
these-
play well in the playoffs. For some odd reason, their
Yeah, you're
defensive line,
always
they
good. No,
always
but you're
play well.
always going to play well when you're up by a
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like,
But they
that's-
weren't up that much
so
but against the
thing
Browns.
about
though.
the thing
it's
about
too, it's
the
too much
Chiefs,
pressure on the other
yeah,
offense.
that's the thing about the Chiefs. So I'm not talking about best defense here. Offense is possibly the Chiefs' best defense.
Yeah.
I would put
Exactly.
the Chiefs' defense as 1, and the reason being because they're gonna put up points, and it's gonna force the other offense to force the ball to try to put up points, and that's that's what's happening. You're throwing that interception, and Allen will throw an interception. Allen will get flustered and not when he see the points when he's chasing it.
That's what I was alluding to earlier in our last segment, that I think this is the end of the run for the Bills. I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be an exciting game. But you remember when I was watching the game at your house and Allen made that he got sacked where he
Sack-
just threw the ball
All
away?
the way, yeah.
And they
He's
almost
gonna
lost the
make-
game?
Right.
Yeah.
He's gonna make bad
That's going
decisions
to
like
cost
that.
you
The
against
decision
the
making.
Chiefs.
Yeah,
The
especially
decision-making
against the Chiefs'
Chiefs.
secondary.
Yeah.
yeah.
the decision making.
However, I think that a guy like Aaron Rodgers, if he gets to the finals,
That's
he's
going to
not
be a
gonna
problem.
lose.
He's-
He's going to be very
That's going to
hard
be a
for him
problem.
to lose.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
going to be a
we-
problem.
We did say that boy is coming.
Yo, so let's get to Bills and the Chiefs, my dude.
Hey man, I don't think the game is gonna be as easy as everyone thinks. And everybody's expecting Kansas City to just blow the Bills out, and Bills win. I'm sorry, Kansas City win, and that's the end of it. Pat Mahomes, yes, I want him to come back. I don't want an inferior game. You know what I mean?
I mean,
want
Pat's back, bro.
yeah.
Pat's
So
back.
I want Pat versus Allen, and then the 2 elders against the one another, the Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
it's the
elders.
funniest thing. The young quarterbacks.
It's the young Bucks against and the old Bucks.
And the old Bucks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, and I think,
Which is funny because if you look at it, AFC is all young, NFC is all old.
yep. And dude, I'm looking
That
forward
was
to
in the
these 4 games, like these 2 games. Like, I'm excited about these 2 games. I think they're gonna be some good games. I expect. I don't know, man. I'm on the line with the Kansas City and Bills. Bills kind of surprised me last week, so.
Dude, I mean, the Chiefs looks good, man. Everybody's coming off their injuries. Like you said, Watkins is coming
Watkins
back.
coming back. Clyde
Clyde is there coming in. You know what I mean? So I think they're in full force now. No one is injured. Yeah, we can say about him either having a concussion or straining his neck, whatever the case is. I think that's what it was. Yo, Mahomes is going to be ready. He's going to be ready for this division, this conference championship. I think they're going to win. They're going to beat the Bills. I need them to beat the Bills.
Yeah, it's not a stretch. It is not a stretch at all. But hey, it's what it is, man.
I mean, as far as quarterback goes, I mean, actually, do you believe that the Bills are going to lose against Chiefs? I mean, do you think?
Yeah, I
Chiefs are
think
gonna,
the Bills are going to lose. I think the Chiefs are going to be a little too much for them to handle. The Bills' defense is not what it used to be, and their offense is not. Their offense is good, but it's not going to be enough
To do
to
it.
slow down Pat Mahomes or Pat Mahomes and these guys. You know.
Yeah, I don't think either. I think they look good. I mean, it's just the firepower they have. Now you're adding Watkins back in. I mean, they have multiple receivers that can go in and out of that game, bro. The secondary, you see how Matthews played,
Right.
the Honey Badger played last weekend. If I'm not mistaken, was it 2 interceptions or was it just 1 interception last week?
I think it was 2.
I think it was 2. Yeah. So I mean, this guy's ready for the ball. He's hungry for the ball, and I think one of the things that's happening is that Bills like to throw the ball. They like to throw the ball deep. They have no running backs.
Yeah.
This game is going to be
Other than him,
more
Josh Allen.
more fantasy friendly than the Bucks and Packers. So I expect the Chiefs and Bills game to be a higher scoring game.
Who do you think is going to be that outliner?
I think all the stars are going to get there. So even though I'm saying that the Bills are going to lose, I still think Stephon Diggs is going to have a good game. I think
John Brown could have a good game.
John Brown can
And
have a good
Beasley
game.
can have a great game.
He was shut down last week, but yeah.
If the Bills end up winning, it will be because of those two names.
Yeah, Beasley and John Brown. I
Beasley
agree
and
with
John
you.
Brown.
I agree with you.
But on Kansas City and obviously Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Pat Mahomes, those guys are going to be the focal points.
All right, man. Well, we want to get into third quarter here. You want to jump into halftime? You want to talk about NBA? What is it that we want to do today?
I mean, we can jump into the NBA, man. The NBA is, while there's some good games. Hey, shout out to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn looks good without Kyrie.
Without Kyrie, I gotta say
They're in overtime right now playing against the Cavs.
Yeah,
with
so,
Kyrie being back. So
from the game, it's just tough. Like, if you thought in the bubble, people were saying the competitiveness is not there because the fans are not there and blah, blah, blah. Well, the fans are not there now. And some great players are getting COVID and they can't go into the lineups. And so it's like the third stringers, I should say, it's only
15
bench players. It's all the bench players that are playing right now.
It's like 8 players on the team right now.
It's not a great product. It's not a great product. Every week every day there is another postponed game. They need to figure it out. It's just shocking to me that the NFL with 53-man roster was able to push through the season, and you were
better preparation though, because they never even had a bubble or discussed a bubble. The NBA had a bubble, and then they're going into.
I don't know if it's better
They
preparation.
should have more knowledge though. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's better preparation though, because there's 53 players on the team. If somebody gets COVID, hey, listen, we got to plug somebody in. It's different about NBA.
The NFL, you said it last week. The NFL knows that they don't play, they don't get paid. Guys are just in the NFL, in the NBA, just
guaranteed
not having COVID, and they're like,
we're good.
Still getting money.
Yeah,
because I guess they're considering they're considering getting COVID as an injury, so you still get paid for the game.
Yeah,
exactly.
So there's no incentive for them to whatever. I'll go cough for a few days.
I'll tell you what though. So Cleveland is up by 12 with under a minute left
in overtime.
So tomorrow's storyline is going to be Kyrie comes back and they lose.
And then
it's going to be all over. Undisputed is going to.
They're going to be like, see, they can't play together. I told you guys, it's like it's free ball hog. Like they can't play. It's
going to be it's going to be that.
Yo,
and I was hoping it was successful though.
Yo, it is such So take for instance one of the teams right now that's in the playoffs in the NFL. I know we talk a lot of NFL, and I know we were talking about basketball, but take the Buccaneers, right? The Buccaneers lost their first game against New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
While New England won their first game against Miami.
Yep.
Whew. That media
hit hard.
Brady oh my God, see, Belichick was the god. Oh my God.
Yep.
It's amazing. We don't let anything play out. The media just hit you hard. Just hit you hard, man. It's crazy, and it's just man. So yeah, Kyrie, you're gonna be.
The good thing about it is James Harden has a triple double. He has 12 assists. He's really the facilitator on the team. Kyrie has took 28 shots, more than Harden and Durant.
What's his points? How much you got?
He has 37 points. He's still shooting over 50%.
He's still over 50.
Kevin Durant has 38 points and Harden has 21.
All right, so it's not the 3, it's everyone else then.
Yeah, but remember they gave up so much. So
how was Joe Harris? Oh, they still got quality players on there.
Joe Harris is 2 of 10.
2 shots.
Yeah.
No,
10 shots,
He got
made
10
two of
shots,
them.
but he only
10
made
shots,
two.
only
of
made
them,
two.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he only made two. And
They got some
an
figure.
issue.
They're like similar to the Heat. You know that first year they got
You gotta
a lot of
figure it out.
figuring out to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you play them boys in NBA 2K 2021, ridiculous, bro. They have Harden like he's a straight shooting guard that can dunk from everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They got him like he's Vince Carter. Like he's dunking from everywhere. Like dunks are behind the back, pump fake dunk. I'm like, yo, Harden does not play like that, yo. There's no way Harden's playing like that. But yeah, I mean, the Brooklyn is crazy. I think. Listen, I don't think they're going to trade Kyrie Irving. They're going to see how it works out. And I'm glad he's back. Whatever situation that he was dealing with, mentally, physically, family, I'm glad he's back. Even with Townsend right now in Minnesota.
Carnegie Towns, yeah.
Yeah, his whole family had COVID. Mother died of COVID.
Yeah.
He has COVID now. It's like, bro, whatever's happening inside that household, it needs to be cleansed because you can't come out of all that and then you have it too, right? So something needs to happen on there. But like going back to what you guys were talking about as far as the NBA goes with all this COVID situations, like yeah, they need to get back into that bubble because it's ridiculous. Like you got games being postponed, you got 8 players on a team. Like yo,
Not
what's
playing.
good? Like you got those bench players not playing, starting and some not starting. Starters are out. Like yo, it's time to just be like.
And you got to
Need to get
think,
back in.
opposite to football, the NBA is based on rhythm and players getting into a rhythm. So they need those games. NFL, you only play once a week.
Yeah.
So it breaks a lot of cycles. If you notice in the NBA, 2 teams go on massive winning streaks and all that. So that changes the dynamic. Now that COVID is happening, it has a big impact on everything.
Yeah, just got
I
the
think
alert
out
too.
of-
Cavs won.
Out of every year, man, this is a lot of people were talking about putting an asterisk on last year. I think this is the year to really put an asterisk on because you're really not playing. A lot of teams are not playing to their full potential. You know what I mean? A lot of their players, a lot of their star players are out when they need to play games and all that stuff. So this is the one that you put an asterisk against. And then if they keep the same mindset throughout the postseason, they're gonna be problems. Can you imagine you show up at a city and then multiple players are and then you have to play like bench players and all that stuff. So it's kind of crazy that and I thought the NBA would figure it out, knowing that they experience a season with it.
It's
already.
money. It was going to come down to money.
So
They're spending more money going into the bubble than they're receiving. So
Yeah.
they were
All
trying
right.
to see if it worked out. All right, man. Let's get into the third quarter. We had top 12 fantasy football players for 2021 last week. Jesus, last year. For last week. I guess we're gonna run down from our 12 to 6, and then we're gonna go right into 5 to 1.
Cool.
Right. So run down your 12 to 6. P.
Hold on, give me some time. Go
Ready?
Ren, go.
Right.
Go and
Like that. 12
All
to
right,
6.
so my 12 to 6, 12, Stephon Diggs, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb.
It's 12 to 7.
12 to 7. I'm sorry.
Right,
Yeah.
12 to 7. So Stephon Diggs, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, DeAndre Hopkins, and then Tyreek Hill is my 7th. For my 6,
Before we get into it.
Yeah,
All
right,
right. Yeah.
So my 12, I had 2. I had Tyreek Hill, Michael Thomas. Aaron Jones was my 11. Travis Kelce, number 10. Zeke, number 9. Stephon Diggs, number 8. Jonathan Taylor, number 7.
All right. And I had James Robinson as 12, DK Metcalf as 11, Jonathan Taylor as 10, Aaron Jones as 9, Tyreek Hill as 8, Travis Kelce as 7, and now we're going to get into 6 through 1.
yeah,
Quick
man.
question, quick thing that I noticed before we get into 6 through 1. How many of those, are 12 players? How many of those are still playing? It's not a lot. It's
3?
Right now I have 3.
3?
I have 3.
5 of them were in the playoffs.
I have 3 that is still playing.
I have 3 that's
this
Yeah,
still,
weekend.
3 still playing.
that's
I
still
have
playing.
Tyreek Hill. I have Tyreek Hill, Aaron Jones, and Stephon Diggs.
And you got
I have Travis Kelce, Stephon Diggs, and I'm not going to mention the other one
all
because
right.
he's in my 6 through 1.
All right, so I got Travis, Tyreek, and Aaron Jones.
Oh, those were just my 6.
Oh,
I have
through one
more
through?
players that's still in the playoffs right now.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I'm just saying.
I'm doing
out-
just
out of-
12 through 12
Yeah,
through
from
7.
7
Oh,
to
you guys
12.
are doing 12 through 7. Oh,
Yeah.
I only
Right,
had
so-
2 then.
Yeah, I had 3 and 12 through
Right.
7.
I have 3 and 12 through 7. All right. Let's go into our 6 through 1, man. 6 through 1. I'm gonna start with my 6. My 6 player is Saquon Barkley. I have Barkley rank at 6. 2 years of injuries. I don't know what you're coming back as. 2 different, both legs. Granted, Goldman had a great season behind the offensive line once they start gelling. They don't know your timing and everything like this. We don't know when you're going to recover from these injuries. I don't know when you're going to start training camp. But I know what your talent is, and I know how you can run, and you don't necessarily need that run block to be successful. So, with all that said, that's kind of the reason why I have Saquon Barkley at 6.
All right. I also got Saquon at 6. Same thing, same reason. Bounce back year. Concerns with the injuries. His production took a hit because of the injuries in general.
Right.
So you got to see where he's going to be at. I mean, other than that, Saquon would be like 1, 2, 3 top,
Yep.
right? But yeah, that's where I got him at. And I'm expecting him to bounce back. I'm expecting him to have those good gains. Am I going to be the guy to draft Saquon? Nah. Because I'm scared. I'm paranoid that he gets injured and then my whole season is done for.
Yep.
Where you at?
My 6 was not Saquon. It's Alvin Kamara. Had a really good year, which we expected. But my problem with Kamara is that he falters and he disappears sometimes in games that you need him. And I'm not sure. Yeah, because you had him as your I think it was bounce back player in segment we did 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, but he was my bounce back player because of Tyson Hill, bro. Breeze
Yeah,
got
just-
hurt. Tyson got in. Tyson, affected his whole game.
Exactly.
So yeah, if we're talking about Tyson Hill affecting his game, yes.
But we don't know what the situation is going to be next year as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
I'm
that
saying
it
this,
wasn't
I-
all Kamara. It was
I
really
don't have.
Tyson.
All right, so I have Kamara
Still,
ranking my
he about to say-
6 through 1, right?
Okay.
I do have.
I thought you
Kamara.
said you don't have
But
him in the first round.
wait. If it's Taysom Hill as the quarterback,
He's out
going
of the
into
first
next
round.
year, he's not in my first round.
He's
at
not
all.
in my first round.
He's not in my first one. So that's okay. So that's why I have him at 6 because I don't know what the situation is going to be next year in New Orleans.
I thought about that, but I was
After next week, after last week.
I put it. I give him the benefit of the doubt that either Drew Brees or Jameis Winston is going to start. If either one of those guys start, I'm good with where I rank him. If it's Taysom Hill, the dude is not in the first round for me. Michael Thomas is not even in the second round for me. It's a lot of people that just downgraded in the Saints offense.
And that'd be dope too because of the fact that if they do consider him as a starter, then you're looking at he's gonna in NFF Garfield's gonna keep Kamara.
Kelsey.
No,
Kamara.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep Kamara. So, but you're looking at Michael Thomas is gonna be available. He drops down to second or third round. It's a great pickup because eventually Saints are gonna realize we can't play Taysom because no one else is involved. And then they're gonna put Winston in, and then bam, you got a squad. At
Well,
third.
they played Taysom 4-5 games this season.
Yeah, they did.
Everybody and their mom went out when Drew Brees suffered that injury. Everybody went out and
They got Taysom.
no, they didn't get Taysom.
They
They
got
get
Winston.
Taysom. They get Taysom for the tight end portion.
Yeah.
but they got Jameis Winston as the quarterback, and then it was shocking to see. Everybody was shocked to see that New Orleans actually played Taysom Hill over Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
And don't be shocked. They may just tailor the offense to Taysom Hill, because they like the dude. They signed him last year.
They signed him with a big contract as a
last year.
backup.
So I think that they may just go that route, and then they just change the offense to match him. And then if that's the case, Kamara is going to suffer because Taysom is going to take a lot of those rushing yards, and Michael Thomas is going to suffer because Taysom's not going to pass the ball as much. So, and that's what I'm scared about the Saints offense come 2021.
Yeah. And that was your number 6?
Yep.
What's your 5, bro?
My 5 is this one. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a grade 5, grade 4. My 5 is Devontae Adams. I have Devontae Adams.
Yo,
as
what
my
are the
5.
chances, bro?
You have him at 5 too.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Devontae Adams as my 5. The dude speaks for himself. Aaron Rodgers and I think Aaron Rodgers has at least one more year in him. So Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, it's just enough said. I don't need to say anything else. Like nobody can stop the dude, no matter what corner, Ramsey, whoever, like Xavier. You want to?
Yeah.
I don't care who you want to put on that dude. He's
Xavier,
just
bro.
gonna smash against you. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I got the same guy, man. It's Adams is Adams, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing that's going to change here other than, if they get another receiver, like you're saying, OBJ. That's when Adams is not just Adams.
I don't think
anymore.
they need a OBJ, man. I think they need a Juju.
They need a Juju.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what they need.
They need a
that.
Robin. They don't need
Yeah,
two
they don't need that Batman. They need a Robin. Somebody that like their hands are pretty good. Like, they have great hands. And because right now, MVS and Lazar, man,
They're
it's
not.
it's like Butterfingers.
What is it? What is it? What did they call Kyrie Irving? He wasn't a Robin, but he's the butler.
Oh, the butler for Batman.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't remember his name.
I
but
know who you're talking about.
That's who they were saying Kyrie is, and that's what MVS and Lazard are right now.
I
But
mean-
that was the biggest issue, and we talked about that segment before. But that's the biggest issue. There's with the Browns team. There's so many Batmans and so many Robins on that team. And it's hard to say, okay, I gotta pass it. I gotta pass it.
You gotta figure out how you're gonna use
force it here because I've already sent it to so and so already. So I gotta make sure it works out. I got 3 tight ends, right?
Yeah.
2 or 3 tight ends in Cleveland.
Njoku
and
the
I
two
gotta make
main
sure
ones
they
are
happy.
Hooper and
Yeah.
Njoku, right?
And I got to make sure they're happy. So I got to get them into the game. They're disgruntled. They're upset. Oh, my 2 running backs. Oh, man, I got to play. First half is that. Second half is this running back. And then I got to throw to OBJ. I got to throw it to Landry down on a deep route or short route, or give and go. It's like there's so many things that confuses this kid. And you got to X out these players. And it proves to them now that I don't need OBJ. Right?
Yeah.
We made the playoffs.
Yep.
We won the
Second-
first week.
Yeah, they went to the second round.
Why do we need OBJ?
And they
for?
had the opportunity of beating Kansas City and being in the division round. And they just
without
didn't.
OBJ.
Yep.
So-
So I agree with you.
Yeah. So that was 5. We agreed on that. What do
What
you
about
have
your
for 5?
5?
I got Derrick Henry. That's probably you guys' 4.
Yeah. That's my 4.
So my 4 was actually Devontae Adams, and the reason why I put Derrick Henry at 5 is because I looked at it this way: if I'm in DFS and I need a win, a guaranteed win, I'm going to choose Devontae Adams. I think he's more reliable. Derrick Henry will give me those 60 pointers more often, but the consistent 30s, the consistent 40s, I think Devontae only doesn't show up when he's injured and he's not playing. Derrick Henry had 8 points that cost you possibly a
playoff.
championship, or possibly even being in the championship.
Yep.
And in the championship, whoever he was there for, he only put up 15 points.
Right.
So that's my problem with Derrick Henry. That's why I got him at 5. And
I got him at 4, and I got
So
the reason
we
why I
got
put
it
him at 4.
at a flip-flop.
Yeah, as a flip flop. Right. So the reason why I got him at 4 is because Derrick Henry may have that issue in the playoffs, right? To give you that 8 points in the playoffs, right? Or in the beginning of the season when the season starts, he's not doing that well. But man, those last 2-3 games that you need to make the playoffs, that boy is there.
Well, he didn't.
yeah,
Well,
he
I
ain't
mean,
made the playoffs, right?
He gave me
Yeah, he gave you 8 that
points
last
when I
game.
need- yeah.
But other than that specific
And it
one,
was simply point differential.
Yeah, it was
So
just point
it-
differential at that
those
point.
60 points at that
What was
point
it?
didn't even matter.
You lost by like 2 points, right, or something like that.
Point four.
Point four.
And
0.4
he had those 60-point games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they didn't at when it's all said and
Said
done,
and
they
done.
did it. And the person who she had Devontae, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, she won the league.
won the league,
right.
And that's what I was talking about, the
when
inconsistency.
you had
part.
Devontae, you won the league.
Yep.
So, it has
Devontae
to
is
speak
going
to
to be that guy that everybody needs to get.
I don't. All right. So
Let me
Devontae
go
has
and put him on my list right
So
now.
Devontae has a consistency, and which is admirable, right? And that's, but at the same time, Devontae can go down 2 to 3 weeks with an injury.
Yep.
So that's the give and take. I have Derrick Henry ranked, but I have him ranked much higher, and I'm gonna explain why when we get there. But for my number 4, I have Dalvin Cook. Is that 4 or 3? Yeah, 4. My number 4, I have Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook because again, the dude can be consistent, but he has some dud games as well. And then not only that, his you can expect to him to miss at least 2 games throughout the season for some ailment or something like that. So that's the other thing that I look at when I'm thinking about Dalvin Cook. But he's gonna give you those 30 to 40 point game, which is significant, which is what you want as a first rounder, not CEH like a couple of my buddies picked. You need somebody that's going to be a foundation, an anchor for your team, and Dalvin Cook, fits that bill.
Do you think with Jefferson having a great rookie season that they're going to try to change this to a passing team?
Not the
or
MO,
still that's going to be a
not the MO of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
The coaching staff dictates. It's going to be a run team, and it's going to be better for Dalvin Cook. Now, this is how I'm looking at it. It's going to be better for Dalvin Cook for a couple of reasons. One is the Jefferson reason, right? 2, there's going to be an off season, and 3, they have a year with this team under their belt. So I expect them to be a better running team, a better passing team, just a better team overall. Minnesota Vikings.
My 3 is Kamara. We kind of beat that down, man. Everything's
we
gonna
have
be
4. We have 4.
We have 4?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, 'cause you
No,
said,
no.
he said he talked about his 4.
Yeah, I
which
talked about
was-
my 4. Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my 3 is Alvin Kamara. And I'm sorry, I guess I'm skipping you because it's supposed to go that way.
No,
but,
go ahead.
It's Alvin Kamara, and I know we kind of beat that, to the ground with the Tyson Hill situation. But like we said, man, if it's Winston, the starting quarterback, he stays at 3. If it's Tyson Hill, then he's out of that first round. Like I can't touch him. But like I said, in our league, he's most likely going to be kept. I truly believe like he's gonna keep him. It's either that or Kelsey, one of those 2.
If I'm him, I would keep Kelsey.
Yeah, but I don't want him to.
Yeah, I don't want him to either. Because
I'm
boy,
taking
do I want
Kelsey.
me
Boy.
some
Oh
Kelsey.
my
I
god!
already shared that sentiment with him. We actually had a conversation in regards.
sharing conversations about this.
We were talking about keepers and who would we keep and potential keepers. And the only 2 potential keepers that he has on his team is Alvin Kamara and Kelsey.
I got a feeling he's gonna keep Kelsey though because he loves tight
It
ends.
makes sense to keep Kelsey, and this is why everybody is throwing all the first rounders back to the pool, except for Stephon Diggs. I think is probably the only one that's going to be kept.
Really, everybody's throwing everybody back in.
I ain't
I
never
think-
said I'm throwing my first rounder back in. So
I think everybody's throwing their first round back in.
Really?
I don't see. I haven't looked at your entire team, so I don't see Dalvin Cook or who. But all right, so you take Dalvin Cook. I don't think if I'm VJ, I'm not keeping C-Mac. I'll take Robinson in the 10 or 12th that he ranked.
Yeah.
No, he can't keep him though.
Was he a pick? Oh,
He
he
was
was
a
a
pick.
pickup.
He was a
Yeah,
pick.
it was a pickup. So so C-Mac may be gone too.
Yeah, it was a pickup, so he's not throwing him back.
where
So-
do you see James Robinson?
James Robinson is top 3 rounds.
Duh.
Yeah, I mean-
that was a cop out
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
No. I think James Robinson would be drafted in the 2nd round.
Oh, I would.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
James
Who you got at 3?
But you didn't. What's your 4?
My 4 was Devontae.
Yeah, Devontae
Devontae
Adams.
Adams.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is who you guys mentioned as your number 6, Saquon. My reason behind that is that team started to come together late, and Wayne Gallman averaged 4.6 yards a carry. Danny, I think that offense when you add Saquon is going to be what we all thought it would have been early on in the season if they had performed that way. Saquon, I think he has a year to prove himself now. And he has to prove himself. He can't come out and he's disappointed due to his injuries. So I think that he's going to lead the league in carries next year. So that's why I would take the risk and draft him.
And hey, is not. Listen,
'Cause the
all
talent
these,
is there.
this top 6 that we're talking about, we're literally splitting hairs. Right?
Yeah.
It's who you like, and you just go with it because we're literally splitting hairs. I have Alvin Kamara as my 3 as well, and I explained to you guys why I'm scared of him and why he may not be in the first round at all for me. And that's kind of one of the things that I was telling Garfield is that look, if it's if it's Taysom Hill as a quarterback, Alvin Kamara is not a first rounder for me. It's definitely in the second round somewhere. So yeah, Alvin Kamara for everything that you say, is my third.
Who do you have as your second?
Second, I have Derrick Henry. Let me tell you why I have Derrick Henry that high. Your word, consistency. And what I mean by consistency, stay healthy. Like he's available to play every week. You know what I mean? Don't matter how many carries this dude is getting, he's getting volume. Volume is king when it comes to running back. Yes, he has a couple of dud weeks, but you can expect that, hey, he's going to get the carry. They're never out of the game. No matter what the game script is, I would say 90% of the times Derrick Henry is still in that script. And one of the things that they wanted to work on last year, but due to COVID, they didn't get a chance to, is his pass catching ability. So I think if they work that in this offseason, Derrick Henry start catching the ball, I'm telling you, the dude will be just like fantasy smasher all the way.
I like that pick. I actually went Vikings for number 2, Dalvin Cook. Great season, 2020 season. I mean, the guy was at 0.50 fantasy points per snap, ranked second among all running backs, right? Like you said, that was the reason I was asking that question. Like, hey, do you think they're going to be throwing that ball with having Jefferson out there being the rookie of the year, breaking the records that Randy Moss did, having Thielen out there? I don't even know. I don't even think they actually need another receiver. With those two guys there, that's solid. But I do feel like they need to start doing a 50-50 in order to get into the playoffs, in order to start really winning games. Because Dalvin can't do it by himself. And we're going to see Dalvin get hurt again and again. And then Madison or whoever is going to be their second running back is going to be getting into that game. And it's going to mess up their whole thing, because now you went from a 75-25 to a 50-50 with your new running back, and all these receivers like, well, Cousins can't throw. Like, what are you doing right now? And that's another question. Will Cousins be there? Like, do you think Cousins is the quarterback to get you into that playoffs? Because I don't think he is.
I mean, Cousins is serviceable, man. Cousins is serviceable.
Has he got into the playoffs?
Serviceable. But
the defense, they need improvement on the defense. Like, you look at, like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was targeting Minnesota's defense last year in fantasy. Like, whenever they come up, like I was like, if I'm gray, like in a gray area between two players, I'm gonna pick them going up against Minnesota, especially my pass catchers. Yep. Like that's one of the things that I look at last year. But I think Kirk Cousins is actually a really decent quarterback. You get what I'm saying?
Serviceable.
Serviceable.
To me, he's a poor man, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. Phillip Rivers is a poor man, Ben Roethlisberger.
Exactly. I think Stafford, Matt Ryan would look way better in that offense. I think they need to get rid of Cousins.
Yeah, I do too. I think if they're truly trying to win, gotta get rid of him. Yeah. He's not the guy to get you the
guys a question, because we've been talking about wide receiver going places, and you brought up a point in regards to Gallman and what the Giants are doing, but I think the Giants need some wide receivers, man.
Yeah,
I think they need one.
I need it right. Somebody good,
because Sterling Shepard isn't bad. Evan Ingram is there. They had another wide receiver.
Keep talking about this guy, Evan Ingram, bro. Evan is nobody right now.
he's
you guys like when
decent tight end, man.
Yo, when you guys talk about over off season and we look at it and we review everything, we break everything down. Evan Ingram always comes up with you guys every year.
Listen,
he didn't have a bad year.
He disappoints every year, bro.
He didn't have a bad year.
All I'm saying is, I think the Giants need a wide receiver. They need.
I agree with you on a wide receiver.
Yeah. They need a number one.
Yeah, like an Allen Robinson or something like that. Yeah.
They need OBJ. Go get him.
Wouldn't that be ironic?
Go get him. Go back and go get him.
That would be funny as hell. That would be the splash of all splashes, yo.
Go back and go get him.
To get OBJ. You think OBJ would go back?
No.
Yeah.
I think he will.
I think he would.
Yeah. He liked being a Giant. He liked being in New York.
Yeah.
It's what made him.
It's what made him.
Yeah. He will be happy as hell to get back to New York. Yeah. I'm telling you.
He needs to go back.
He will repaint that orange truck so quickly.
Yeah.
They need to get him, bring him back. They'll get their whole squad. That would change the Giants organization again.
Yeah.
That would bring them to a winning
Bring them
team.
a winning team.
Yeah,
I
because
agree.
like you said, they need a receiver. Now you're saying you're going to go back and get the best receiver?
Yeah, that would be good.
That'll get Daniel Jones right back into where he needs to be at.
All right, so the consensus is everybody have C-Mac, right?
Well, what's number 2 for you?
Dalvin Cook was my number
Number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I got
Consensus is C-Mac,
C-Mac.
huh?
Yeah, bro.
C-Mac.
I got
All
C-Mac.
right.
Yeah.
C-Mac?
Yep.
C-Mac is the number 1 player to get in your draft.
Yep.
Hopefully
All right.
he doesn't get injured.
All right. Because that's the thing about
man,
NFL
that
players,
was
man.
tough.
Once the injuries start, they don't stop, bro.
Yeah,
They
bro.
don't stop.
Let's go to the fourth quarter, man. We're gonna talk about DFS lineups. Advice for conference championship playoffs, right? I guess lock up or lock out. Like, what players do you think right now, fantasy wise in DFS, are the guys that's gonna change the game, win you that championship or win you that bet?
Before we even jump into that, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, again, we're doing a locker code playoff.
yes, sir.
A locker code playoff challenge. The link will be posted on our IG page or web page and our Twitter page. Jump in. It's $10 to participate. The platform is DraftKings. But we're going to talk about some DFS good plays. We're only going to cover the wide receivers and running backs of the players that we're considering, and then you can fill out the rest of your lineups.
Who won last week?
Garfield.
Garfield won.
Garfield won.
Yeah.
Who's second place?
That was
Garrett.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Who won the week before?
I knew you were going somewhere.
I'm just asking the question, bro. I was just asking the question, man.
On to the show.
I was just
Man,
asking the
let's-
question,
let's-
man.
funny,
We're
but
current,
I'm
right?
not even going to get into
Yeah,
it.
we're
I'm
talking
not-
about
I'm
current.
not- I'm not even going to.
I was just asking the question, yo.
I know you were going there. I know you because I wanted to see if you were going to go all the way down to number 4 where you were.
No,
Relax.
I
dude.
can't
I was at
You
number
lost.
leave
4,
this
right?
studio.
You lost.
So I was at number 4,
You
which I should have
lost.
made that bet with you because I was ahead of you, right? I should have made that bet, but yeah, I lost.
I'm
Yeah, I
not.
lost.
Gonna, I'm not.
No?
I'm not.
No,
Gonna.
Oh
All
my
right.
God.
I was just trying to give the fans who won last week, who won the week before, and who won the week before. Man, that's all I was trying to do. No?
The week I won.
The week before you won, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was just saying. I was like, I'm just trying to let
But
them know
we're not
the
going
first
back in the
week
past,
you
though.
won. The
You
first week
tried.
you had
Alright,
second.
All right. So we have. Let's talk about the first game. The fantasy implication in the first game. The first game is what is it? The Bills and Chiefs, right?
right.
No.
Bills-
No, it's I don't
It's
think the
Packers
first game.
and
I think
Bucks.
it's Packers
Packers
and
and
Bucks in the
Yeah.
first game at 3:00 on
Yeah.
on
Okay.
Sunday.
All right. Yeah. So let's talk about that game. Tampa Bay versus Green Bay. Let's start with the wide receivers, man. What deep wide receiver you think will have an impact on this game? Because right now it's such a short field. Everybody's looking for that nugget that will put them, over that hump in DFS. That's going to separate them in a tournament and stuff like that. So, what wide receivers in this matchup that you guys would consider to be a significant impact, would have a significant impact in this game?
Well, me, it was like last week. I was, same scenario that happened. I was like looking at either MVS or Lazard, right? And I decided on MVS. And Lazard had, it was going kind of back and forth last week with MVS and Lazard. And Lazard had to break out from that long touchdown, 45-yard touchdown, right? But right now, MVS is $3,900, right? He got a total of 8 total targets on Sunday, which is the highest target total since back in week 4, right? 2 of those targets were in the end zone, but neither was deemed catchable at that time anyways. Rodgers is targeting his receivers in the end zone. We need to take serious notice of that because no quarterback remaining in the postseason has a higher quarterback rating than Rodgers right now in the end zone at 111.18, right? So I think he's the guy. It's going to be MVS or Lazard. It's going to be one of those two. I think this week it's going to be MVS. I think they are going to, the Bucks are going to try to hold Adams in some way, some form, right? But I think he's going to, if he sees Adams is unable to get that ball the way he wants to throw it to Adams because the, safeties are down, corners are down, playing 1-on-1 tight or 2-on-1 tight, they're going to see MVS going for a deep ball or Lazard going for a deep ball. And I think that's going to be the biggest guy. So you're going to see 15, 20 points from MVS.
That's my problem, though. The deep ball. Is Rodgers going to get that time and that ability to
With that
throw
pass rush from Tampa
pass
Bay?
rush to throw
I
that
think
deep
those
ball?
Wisconsin boys will give him enough time to throw that ball. And
It's
honestly,
it's
when
something
Rodgers,
you're betting on.
the deep balls from Rodgers doesn't come when he's in the pocket. They
So-
come when he runs to the outside and the defense is lost at that point, trying to figure out
So-
where the receivers are at.
In DFS, you got to weigh floor,
Yep.
and you got to weigh ceiling, right?
Right.
So Lazard and MVS high floors. You're looking for them to get that one pass that equates into a touchdown as a 45-yard bomb like Lazard got. And if there's any guy that could do it, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So it's relatively possible. But then when it comes to floor, I'm looking at a guy like Godwin. I like Godwin's floor.
Yeah, Godwin
Brady's
floor is
gonna
really
have to-
high from the targets.
From the targets, Brady kind of spreads the ball. He's someone that he looks for. Godwin is a good receiver, better receiver than MVS and Lazard.
Yeah.
So he has a better floor, and he could get that touchdown.
Yep.
So that's what you're weighing.
A
when it
floor with a
comes-
high ceiling is
With
is
a high ceiling.
A high
Yeah.
floor with a high ceiling. is
So
a good,
I don't
good
know
match.
what his price is on in DraftKings, but it's
I think it's around
somebody that
5,000.
I would look at.
Around 5,000. My only thing with Godwin was like last week he did not play well. So the question is
But you're gonna have that.
Brady? Yeah, and that's true.
I mean, Michael Thomas didn't play well last week.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
You know what I mean?
Didn't
So-
even catch.
If Brady is going to be like, okay, I'm going to continue to throw the ball to you, and obviously you won't even know that until the game because Brady's like, if you don't catch the ball when he throws the ball to you, he's gonna. That's it for you.
Godwin is
That's it.
5,400 on
54.
DraftKings.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. So I agree with that. I like that. I like Godwin.
For me, man, for a contrarian play, somebody that's off the radar, or probably is not going to be on the radar this week in DFS and minimally owned is Gronk. Gronk did well against this team the last time they played. Gronk had 8 targets with 5 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. So Gronk had about like 16 to 18 fantasy point, depending on your scoring system. So yeah, so Gronk can come out and be a focal point in this offense if they focus on the wide receivers. If they focus on covering Evans and focus on covering Godwin. I can see Gronk getting his, and he do get targets in the end zone. Brady's do look in his way. Even though Brady in the middle of the field, Brady look at Brady, but in the end zone,
Yeah,
Gronk,
it's Gronk.
It's Gronk. He's looking at Gronk as a trusted player, trusted hand in the end zone to catch these balls. So a contrarian play, as I said, in this game, in this matchup, will probably be Gronk. What about the running backs in this game, man? How do you guys feel?
I like Jamal Williams, Green Bay. I think with with Tampa Bay's defense, they're gonna kind of stop Aaron Jones. I feel like Aaron Jones is gonna have that breakout, but they're gonna stop that running game, and I think they're gonna need to start throwing the ball more, and that's where you get Jamal Williams on the side, right? That just like that little pump that that pass that's for 1 yard, and all of a sudden Jamal Williams takes one run linebacker and he takes 10, 15, 20 yards, if that. What I mean? So I think he's going to get a couple catches, maybe 5, 6 catches, maybe a touchdown in the red zone because they start to play Jamal Williams like around third quarter. They use him just like they use Hunt.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I understand where you're coming from with that, but unfortunately, man, I cannot say like playing DFS, playing for money, and put the backup in. That's tough.
When you
That's
have
tough.
Ronald
When you have-
Jones and Leonard Fournette on
Listen,
the other
On
side.
the other side, so
That's very true. But
and then not only that, man, you're going up as in the regular season the number 1 rush defense in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm staying away
and-
from
and-
that.
running-
and that's
that
where
run game.
I see that it's not going to be a running game, and that's where when you have Jamal Williams going to cost $4,000, and you need that low ball money that you can put a player like him in there because it's not going to be a running game. It's not going to be a running situation. It's going to be a catching situation.
And that's where I agree with you that I would put like a Lazar or a
In that
MVS
place and
as a
factor because
flex,
of that. Mhm.
as a flex versus putting the running back going up against Tampa. Because right now Tampa Bay in the regular season, Tampa Bay pass defense was ranked 21st. You see what I'm saying? So you can pass against them, and the thing that Green Bay loves to do is pass.
Yeah.
So that's if I'm chancing anything from this game, if I'm picking a flex player from this game, it's gonna be the wide receiver, not the running backs. And I don't trust I don't trust any of the running backs on Green Bay because of what Tampa run defense is like. On the flip side, I don't know who to trust, man. I don't know if it's Fournette. I don't know if it's gonna be Ronald Jones, and that's bothering me. And playing DFS, you can gamble on one of these, and hopefully that's the one that goes off. But at the same time, it's pretty tough to pick in this game. Running back.
All right, what do you have, man?
All right, so we jump to the Bills and the Kansas City game. First and foremost, how do you feel this game is going to be? You feel like it's going to be a high scoring game, PJ? Or
I think the Chiefs and Bills are going to be more fantasy friendly than the Bucks and Packers. Higher scoring.
I agree with that 100%. I think this is going to be a super high scoring game. I think both teams are going to come out. Both young kids are going to come out slinging the ball, and Kansas City is going to be up, and Buffalo Bills is going to force the ball to the Diggs, to the John Brown and the Beasley of the world. So I feel like depending on your lineup, how you're going to set it up, I feel like those players should be considered in any lineup that one of those players or two of those players should be considered in any lineup that you're setting, because they're going to need to pass the ball against Kansas City, and somebody's going to eat. You just got to hit on the right one.
And I would take them over MVS and Lazard.
Who?
Beasley
Cole?
and
John Brown.
Yeah, John Brown easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
My concern is crazy thing is I think that it's going to be such a close game, multiple touchdowns, that it's going to take an injury to decide on the game. Y'all laughing.
You sound like me.
I'm dead ass, right? I think that's what it is. It's going to be an injury, and it's going to be either your boy Pat gets hurt or Josh Allen gets hurt.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those guys that's going to
and then the backup got to come in,
and the backup has to come and do it. It's going to be a high. It's going to be an impact game.
Jake Fromm can come in and light it up, and you saw what Henny did last week. So you never know. The backup can come in and spark.
It's Barkley or something like that. That's starting. So Fromm is not in there, but I don't know. That's just me. I think it's just going to be somebody that's going to impact the game, and someone's going to get hurt, and that's going to be it. But that's going to be a great game. It's a 6 o'clock game, so it's going to be dope.
So, all right, in this game, because this game we are considered to be high scoring, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a question. So I'm going to start with you, PJ. In this game, give me a player that's not on the radar that you would consider putting in your lineup. So I don't want to hear the Hill. I don't want to hear Kelsey. I don't want to hear Diggs. And I don't want to hear Clyde. I don't want to hear Singletary. So that's.
Well, I think he did tell you, right? It was Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley is one.
Yeah. John Brown is two.
Is another one. Funny
and
enough,
anybody on the Kansas City side?
I was thinking of Watkins.
Yeah.
If he plays, he normally has those spurts where he could have big games.
Right.
Because nobody's looking at him right
Nobody's looking at him, but it was somebody from Bills that I would consider, and that's Singletary. Singletary could catch the ball. So I think he's going to be used a lot, or he could be used a lot.
Depending on the scoring and what
because I think that
the
Bills
script.
are going to be playing from behind.
Yeah.
Their offense is good, but it's not as good as the Chiefs.
Would you trust Clyde Edwards-Helaire if he practiced in full for the rest of the year?
I would take Singletary over Clyde this game.
But look at Damian Williams last year. Damian Williams smashed.
I don't know if I
playoffs.
can trust Singletary over Clyde.
Because
my thing with Clyde is the red zone. That's my thing. He's a great catcher. He can run through the hole when he's 20, 40, 50 yards away from the touchdown.
But once
he gets in that red zone, that 10 yards, he can't do nothing.
It's just not happening. It's just
like,
can't punch it in. He can't punch it
when
in.
that alert, when DFS or ESPN or Yahoo pops up and says Clyde Hilaire is in the red zone, don't even look at it. It's not going
There's
to
a
him.
penalty.
It's not going to. If he makes a touchdown, there's a penalty. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, man.
Let the alert pop up and just swipe it out. It's not going to him.
I agree with you. Man. I agree with
It's
you.
not going to. But he would be that guy that I would probably be like, yo, you know something? I'd probably start him because of the fact I know he's going to get the running game, but he's not going to get in the red zone. The only way he's getting into that red zone is they throw a pass from the right side or the left side real quick, and he makes it happen. That's where I would do it because Bell's not the answer. Williams, they're not even really starting. They started Williams over Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Bell's not the answer.
Let's have a conversation about that real quick before we end the show. So Bell is a free agent after this year, right? And obviously he's not being featured, especially Clyde been out for the past 2 weeks, and Bell is not getting any game. So, which means Bell is either washed up or he just doesn't fit that offense.
He doesn't fit the offense.
So, with a plethora of team that are looking for a running back, will you consider Bell
As a Dolphin or as a owner?
a Dolphin, or where do you think Bell should be? What team would be a good fit for Bell? Because Bell is not like a power back.
Perfect fit for Bell is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, hey, I agree with you 100%, but
That's not going to happen.
It may not happen. It may not happen. What's funny about all this though is that we're putting two players back on their old team because the old team is the best fit
It's
for
the
them.
best fit for him. No one else can
I
play
think
them.
that's funny, and I think that's funny. OBJ back to the Giant will be a great fit. And
You can't put him
and
nowhere
Bell,
else.
Bell back to the Steelers will be a phenomenal fit.
I would love to have him as a Dolphin, but I think Dolphins are looking for a power runner. He'll be a great fit as a Dolphin because he can, as long as that offense fit him, right? And in order for that offense to fit him, which means that, hey, I'm going to stay back here until that hole opens up.
Right.
I'm gonna chill.
He's just a delay runner, and
Delay
if you don't have those linemen that understand,
That's why I don't think that the Dolphins are a good fit for him.
Yeah, I don't
Because they
think the
have a
Dolphins
good
gonna-
They don't have
offensive line.
they don't have the
Before- when-
linemen yet.
when he got released, and I was excited that the Dolphins was in the he was considering the Dolphins, but seeing him on Kansas City and see the difference between him and Clyde when they're in the game. Clyde is hitting, like Clyde is just like getting the ball from Mahomes and he's going through that hole. Bell is waiting, and you can see where the linemen are getting frustrated. Yeah, I can see that. So I don't think he's just
As a running back that can catch the ball, Bell is number one.
I think Bell would end up in Chicago.
No, because they like
No.
power running backs. He won't be.
And Montgomery is serving.
And
is very
Montgomery,
stable there.
he's there. He's good.
No,
He's
no,
not
no.
moving.
Like, so to your point, that is a pass cat. Like Bell can catch the ball. Montgomery, everybody is high on Montgomery because what Montgomery did in the second half of the year. But the only reason why Montgomery was that successful in the second half of the year, if you check the stats, it's because of his catching the ball.
abilities, yeah.
But once Cohen comes back, Montgomery's back to what he was in the first half of the year.
But that's exactly true. So the problem is that one, we already see that Bell cannot play with more than himself.
But
It can't be a
the
second
reason why I
running back
say
or
he
third
would
Part
be
of me feels like Bell is done. A good part of me.
a good
Part of me, because I'm over here racking my brain thinking about a team that he would fit with, and
I can't think
I
about
can't
it.
think of any team.
Arizona. Drake is out. He's going to be a free agent. Edmonds is the only one there.
But Edmonds,
they don't play Powerball because they threw David Johnson.
But Edmonds
away.
is Bell though. Well, maybe
nah, he's
not.
Cohen.
Nah, he's a little bit.
He's more Cohen.
there.
He'll probably fit there.
Not Dallas, not Houston, not Vegas. They already have a running back there.
Yeah, Josh
Not
Jacobs.
Rams, not 49ers. They have too many running backs there. Not Seattle, because they're not going to let go of any of their running backs.
I just don't know where Bell. Let's see where he ends up, man. I'm curious.
I'm
to
excited
see.
about that.
He's one of them I'm curious about. He won't be drafted by me, but I'm just curious to see where he ends up.
He'll be
But
drafted
he's-
by me like 10th.
He's
Yeah, you
Just
know
to
what? I
see.
shouldn't say he would. He's
Just
gonna
to
be
see
a
where he's
super
at.
late round for me. He's gonna be a super late round.
on his way out.
Yeah. All right.
That boy said he's on his way out.
He is though.
Yo, so that's going to be it for us, man. Thank you for listening to Locker Code with C. Ren and PJ. Be sure to check us out on lockercode.com for all your fantasy needs, sit and starts, waiver wire pickups, DFS lineups, matchup news, and more. Yo, shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to the fans. Hey, we're having a 1 year anniversary on March 20th. Save the date again. More info will be coming again, March 20th. All right.
Any bold predictions?
Bold.
Oh,
I told you somebody going to get injured in that KC game.
Hey, yo,
that's going to define define the game, bro.
Bold prediction is going to be Aaron Rodgers and Chiefs in a Super Bowl final.
Oh, that's not bold. I already told y'all.
My bold prediction is Bills upset Kansas City.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen yet.
That's not going to happen.
Pat Mahomes will have to be hurt like by the second quarter.
Bold prediction is
If he get hurt in the third, they still might. They
All right,
may not catch up.
I got it. Bold prediction. Clyde Hilaire is the most valuable player in that game.
That's Super Bowl.
He's gonna get a touchdown in the red zone next week or this week.
That's
I'm talking about this week. I'm talking about MVP of this
So
week.
you're saying CEH is gonna outperform Kelsey
Yes.
and Hill?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's bold.
That's bold, right? Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what's gonna happen. He gonna have 2 touchdowns.
That sounds like some wishful thinking right
He's
now.
gonna have 110 yards.
Bold prediction: Singletary is a top 3 back this week.
This week, right?
Okay,
Cool. That's realistic.
I
That
guess.
can happen.
I guess, man. Well, yeah, man. Check us out on Locker Code Twitter, the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, man. Hit us up with likes. Hit us up, man. Questions, anything. We're here to answer, man. Yeah.
Cool. Yo, yeah.
Who
These
out?
games are gonna be wild, dude. Like, I know you guys don't think these games are. You think these games are like wide apart. I don't think the Kansas City game is as wide apart as you think it is. I don't think the Tampa Bay versus Green Bay game is as wide apart as you guys think it is.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna change my bold prediction. It's gonna be Henny, most valuable player.
Y'all getting ridiculous.
Yeah, that's super ridiculous. It's
gonna be
there's
Henny, yo.
bold, and then there's this bullshit.
Yeah, that's what.
So that one right there is a straight bold.
Yeah.